When I was in my 20s, I had my first little theater company, and I had a day job. I was working at the Practicing Law Institute on 53rd Street. And my boss, who was the vice president, and I was doing her files, and I was doing a really good job. I was putting her files in the red folder, and a blue folder, and a yellow folder, and I was color coding. And she really took a liking to me, and she would take me out to lunch. And I was fundraising for my play. I needed to raise $5,000 to do this little play. I was going to rent a theater, and we were doing, it was a little theater company downtown, like hundreds of little theater companies downtown. And she says to me at lunch one day, as I'm talking about the play, and she says, "Aren't you going to ask me for money to support your project?" I'm like, my cheeks are bright red. The photographers in the room would recognize the shades of crimson that my cheeks are. And I am, you know, this is early 20s, and I am like, I've never asked anybody for money. I don't know what I'm going to do. I said, so she says, how much are you trying to raise? How much are you trying to raise? So I'm trying to raise $5,000 for the show. And she said, okay, well, I have a few questions for you. If I gave you $500, are you going to throw a party with that $500? I said, no, I'm not going to throw a party with the $500. I'm going to use it probably for the set, which is the most expensive item that I have. So you're going to buy drugs or alcohol with it? And he's like, no, I'm going to buy the set. This is probably what I'm going to do with it. She's like, are you going to make good use of the $500? In terms of this set? I was like, are you kidding me? I'm going to take that $500 and I'm going to make it feel like $5,000. I mean, that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to take that $500. She said, fine. Then what is your problem? What's your problem? How come you're not asking me? Do you believe in your work? Do you care about what you're doing? Do you recognize that the absence of the ask is the same thing as you not believing in your work? Let me just let that sit in on you again. If you're not asking, you're saying, you're sending the message to an individual, to society, to wherever, that you don't believe in your work on some level. Now, I'm not saying you need to be going out there asking people for money in order to say, I believe in myself as an artist. If God bless your life is such that you have an active career and you're an artist and you're making your life. But if you have a project that you believe in, if you have a musical, you have a film, you have a trip, you have something that you're working on, you have a book that you want to make happen, and you're not making it happen, the message is that you don't really believe in it. Because if you believe in it, then the ask is genuine. I mean, we're artists in this room. Is there a single person in this room that would go out and ask for money and then take that money and throw a party?
No way.
Is there anybody in this room that would take somebody's money for an art project and not make use of every single penny? So why do we not give ourselves that kind of credit? So the first thing when we start thinking about getting over the anxiety of asking is to start with that basic thing, which is like, I believe in my work.